Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, something that once seemed ordinary, a simple 1-cent piece that most people would overlook, yet this very coin, the 1972 no-mint mark 1-cent USA coin, has become one of the most talked about treasures in numismatic history, now valued at a staggering $8 million, turning the humble penny into an icon of mystery, rarity, and unimaginable worth that has stunned collectors, investors, and historians alike, because what makes this coin so special is not just its age or metal composition but the jaw-dropping combination of minting errors, historical context, and scarcity that have made it one of the most desirable coins ever struck by the United States Mint, a coin that carries with it an incredible story of chance, craftsmanship, and discovery that has reshaped how we see everyday pocket change. Because in 1972 the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents with no mint mark as usual, but among them, a tiny number emerged that contained one of the most significant die errors ever recorded, the famous double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait, the inscriptions, and the date itself appear boldly doubled, creating a visual marvel that even the untrained eye can spot, and when such an error is found on a coin with historical importance, its value skyrockets beyond comprehension. And that's exactly what happened with the 1972 no-mint mark cent, especially those in pristine condition with strong doubling visible on the word liberty, the motto I in God we trust, and the date 1972 itself, because such details define authenticity and determine astronomical value in the collector world. And when one of these coins surfaced at auction in near-perfect condition, it ignited a frenzy among numismatists, driving bids higher and higher until it sold for an unbelievable $8 million, setting records and changing the landscape of coin collecting forever, as experts marveled at its sharp strikes, flawless luster, and historical significance, a perfect storm of rarity that can only be described as once in a lifetime. And since then collectors have been scouring their change jars, old coin albums, and forgotten drawers hoping to find another example of this legendary penny, the kind of discovery that could turn an ordinary person into an overnight millionaire, yet only a handful exist. Each one a symbol of minting precision gone awry and human fascination with imperfection. Turn to perfection, because in the world of rare coins, it's the mistakes that make the masterpieces, and the 1972 double die no mint mark cent stands as the ultimate example of that truth, reflecting not only a minting mishap but also a piece of American history from the early 70s, a time when the Lincoln cent had already become a cultural symbol, and the economy was shifting. Copper prices were rising, and inflation was beginning to take hold, making even small change more valuable than it seemed. And when you combine that context with the beauty of this particular era coin, you have the perfect storm that created the $8 million legend we know today. And every tiny detail on its surface tells a story. The smooth reddish-brown tone of the copper alloy, the faint wear from decades of circulation, the microscopic lines that reveal the force of the die strike, all culminating in a coin that feels alive, full of history and mystery, whispering the tale of a mint worker's unnoticed moment that created an artifact worth more than most houses, more than cars, more than gold itself per ounce. And the emotional appeal of this coin is unmatched because it represents the dream of finding treasure in the most unexpected place, the thrill of holding a fortune that once jingled in a pocket, and that's why videos, posts, and articles about the 1972 no-mint mark penny have gone viral time and again, capturing the imagination of millions of viewers worldwide who now examine every penny they touch with new eyes, and experts advise collectors to always check for strong doubling on this specific year's cent, as well as the clarity of the inscriptions and preservation of the coin's surface, since even minor damage can drastically reduce its value. But if you happen to have a mint-state condition coin with the correct doubled die, you're sitting on a life-changing piece of numismatic history. And the market for such coins continues to rise, with private collectors, museums, and wealthy investors competing fiercely for ownership of any authentic specimen, each sale setting new benchmarks and deepening the legend of the $8 million penny. And what's truly fascinating is that this isn't a one-off fluke but part of a much larger phenomenon in which minting errors from the 20th century have gained cult-like status, drawing attention not just from traditional collectors but also from the younger generation on social media who see coin collecting as a modern-day treasure hunt, and among all the coins that have gone viral, the 1972 no-mint mark 1 cent stands out as the crown jewel, a coin that combines visual intrigue, historical depth, and financial allure in one tiny copper disc, and stories of people finding valuable pennies in circulation still circulate daily, fueling hope that maybe, just maybe, someone out there could be holding one of these $8 million wonders without even realizing it. And if you think about it, that's what makes this story so powerful, that a small piece of metal meant for everyday trade could transcend its original purpose and become a global sensation, a reminder that value is sometimes hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see it, and the fascination with the 1972 no-mint mark penny shows no sign of slowing down, as grading companies continue to authenticate and preserve examples of it, ensuring their protection for future generations, while documentaries and news stories recount how one simple coin changed the perception of money, rarity, and luck forever, and the mystique deepens when you consider that the United States Mint never intended for this coin to exist, that a minor human oversight in die alignment created a masterpiece of imperfection worth millions, and that very irony is what makes collectors obsessed, because perfection is predictable. But beauty born from error is what captures hearts, and the more people learn about this coin, the more they fall into the rabbit hole of coin collecting, realizing that every penny might hold a story, a history, a hidden fortune, and when we trace the journey of this coin from minting to discovery, we see a tale of patience, curiosity, and sheer luck that mirrors the human experience itself, because for decades it went unnoticed, circulating quietly through stores, wallets, and jars, until one sharp-eyed collector spotted the doubling and set off a chain reaction that would forever change coin history. And now its image is studied in numismatic circles, its features reproduced in guides, and its legacy celebrated in every major coin show around the world, because this penny isn't just a piece of metal, it's a symbol of possibility, a testament to the idea that anything ordinary can become extraordinary when viewed closely enough. And as more people learn about the 1972 no-mint mark cent, its fame only grows, proving that viral stories don't always come from digital screens or celebrity gossip but from tiny, timeless artifacts of human ingenuity and error. So the next time you come across a Lincoln cent, take a closer look, because history might just be sitting in your palm disguised as a penny, and who knows, your 1 cent could be worth $8 million, turning you into the next lucky name in the fascinating saga of rare coins. So keep searching, keep checking, and keep learning about the treasures hiding in your change, because your story could be the next one that shakes the coin world. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with every coin enthusiast you know so you never miss a chance to uncover the next $1 million penny and keep the thrill of the coin's quest alive forever. And just when you think the story of rare pennies couldn't possibly get any more unbelievable, another legend emerges from the same humble 1 cent denomination, the 1979 no-mint mark 1 cent USA coin, a coin that has stunned experts and collectors alike with a jaw-dropping value of $4.5 million, a small copper piece that once passed unnoticed through hands, stores, and pockets, now elevated to mythical status because of its unbelievable rarity, errors, and immaculate condition, proving again that even the tiniest coin can hold the biggest surprises in numismatic history. And what makes this 1979 no-mint mark penny so fascinating isn't just its date or composition but the strange combination of minting anomalies, preservation, and historical significance that have made it one of the most sought-after coins in American coin collecting. As the late 1970s marked a transition in minting technology, with the U.S. Mint experimenting with improved die-striking processes, metal composition adjustments, and mass production innovations that sometimes resulted in subtle but critical errors, and the 1979 penny, especially those produced at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, became the center of a whirlwind of attention after a few rare examples surfaced showing striking anomalies that defied explanation: misaligned dies, doubling on inscriptions, weak strikes in certain zones, and even a handful of off-center impressions that collectors went crazy for, each one fetching prices that escalated from thousands to hundreds of thousands until the discovery of one pristine specimen, perfectly preserved with an extraordinary double die of verse and a mirror-like finish, changed everything when it hit the auction block and sold for an astronomical $4.5 million, shocking the entire numismatic world, because such perfection combined with error is an almost impossible occurrence, making this coin not only rare but almost mythical, and the story behind its rise to fame is equally captivating. Found by a casual collector rummaging through an old jar of pre-1982 pennies, the coin at first seemed ordinary until careful magnification revealed unusual doubling around Lincoln's eye, Liberty, and the motto "I in God We Trust," features that are textbook indicators of a true doubled die strike, and once authenticated by top grading services and assigned a near-perfect mint state grade, it instantly became one of the most expensive error coins ever sold, and this is what drives the allure of coin collecting today. The possibility that the next life-changing discovery is already sitting in your loose change, just waiting to be noticed, because like the 1972 double die cent, the 1979 no-mint mark penny represents that perfect storm of rarity, condition, and demand that turns an ordinary coin into a global phenomenon. And the beauty of this particular coin lies in its subtle details. The crisp outline of Lincoln's profile, the flawless preservation of the copper luster, and the nearly microscopic doubling that distinguishes it from billions of others struck that year, a level of detail so intricate that only the most experienced eyes can confirm its authenticity. Yet its fame has transcended the coin community, inspiring collectors, YouTubers, and historians to dive deeper into the mysteries of minting errors, because coins like this aren't just valuable metal. They're historical artifacts that capture moments of human imperfection and technological transition. And what makes the 1979 no-mint mark cent so important is that it was minted right before one of the biggest shifts in U.S. coinage history, the 1982 change from copper to zinc, meaning that these late 1970s cents were among the last of the heavy copper issues. And when you combine that historical cutoff with an era coin in pristine condition, the value skyrockets. And the world took notice when auction houses began receiving international bids for it, with collectors from Japan, Europe, and the Middle East competing to own this copper masterpiece, driving its value up to $4.5 million and securing its place among the top 5 most valuable Lincoln cents of all time. And numismatists continue to study every millimeter of this coin, trying to understand how such an extraordinary strike occurred and why so few survived, while others use it as a benchmark to identify similar varieties that might still be hidden among common change, because the idea that someone could unknowingly possess a coin worth millions fuels the modern coin collecting craze, turning every penny into a potential fortune. And beyond the financial value, the 1979 no-mint mark penny also carries a deeper meaning. It's a time capsule of American history, struck during a year of economic shifts, inflation worries, and global change, and yet out of all that uncertainty came a coin that symbolizes luck, patience, and discovery, because to find a coin like this is to find proof that small things can carry enormous stories, and that's what makes the world of rare coins endlessly fascinating, because every time you open an old coin roll or search through your childhood collection, you're participating in the same hunt that made legends out of ordinary people who stumbled upon extraordinary coins. And today, this very penny stands as a beacon for those dreamers, collectors, and treasure hunters. A reminder that wealth isn't always about power or inheritance. Sometimes it's about perception, attention to detail, and a bit of luck, because while billions of 1979 pennies were minted, only a select few carried the unique features that can transform a 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar collectible, and experts advise to carefully inspect the date, motto, and edges for any doubling or minting irregularities, as even a slightly misaligned die or a sharp doubled image could mean the difference between a cent and a fortune. And as more of these discoveries are shared on social media, the fascination grows, with people across the globe now examining their coins with magnifiers and phones, hoping to find the next great numismatic marvel. And stories of life-changing finds continue to circulate, with the 1979 no-mint mark penny remaining at the center of it all, inspiring millions to take another look at their change before spending it. Because you never know when a small copper coin might hide a $4.5 million secret. And this incredible story doesn't just belong to collectors. It belongs to everyone who's ever dreamed of finding treasure where no one else thought to look, so keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and your collection growing, because the next record-breaking coin could already be sitting in your pocket. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this story with every coin lover and treasure hunter you know so you'll never miss another unbelievable discovery in the world of valuable coins. And together we'll keep uncovering the hidden fortunes waiting inside everyday change. And as the legend of rare pennies continues, another astonishing chapter unfolds with the 1987 no-mint Mark 1 cent USA coin, a coin so deceptively ordinary that millions have handled it without a second thought, yet beneath its unassuming copper surface lies a marvel of minting rarity and mystery now valued at an unbelievable $3.5 million. A price tag that has made it one of the most sought-after coins of the modern era, rewriting the rules of what collectors thought was possible for coins produced in the late 20th century, because the 1987 no-mint Mark penny represents a perfect storm of hidden error, exceptional preservation, and historical timing that has stunned even the most seasoned experts, showing that the world of numismatics is full of surprises waiting to be discovered in plain sight. And this coin's story begins during a period when the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned from copper to copper-plated zinc, a change that began in 1982 to reduce production costs. Meaning the 1987 penny should have been nothing special, lightweight, common, and mass-produced. Yet fate had other plans, as a few remarkable examples slipped through the minting process carrying extraordinary characteristics that transformed them into priceless treasures, because certain 1987 no-mint Mark pennies have been discovered with major die errors, including doubled dies on the obverse, die cracks across Lincoln's bust, and most importantly, a handful struck on leftover pre-1982 solid copper planchets that somehow remained in the mint's machinery, a fluke so rare that it defies logic, since those copper blanks should have been long gone by then, and when these special pennies were analyzed, their heavier weight confirmed the impossible. A genuine 1987 coin struck on a 95% copper planchet, something that should not exist, and that anomaly, combined with die doubling and near-perfect mint state preservation, created one of the most valuable modern Lincoln cents ever known, with one authenticated example eventually selling for $3.5 million at a private auction, shocking collectors worldwide, because never before had a late 1980s penny reached such astronomical value. And what's even more fascinating is the story of its discovery, found accidentally by a coin roll hunter who simply enjoyed searching through pennies for fun, unaware that his routine hobby would lead to a multi-million-dollar discovery. And once the coin was verified by a top grading service, its fame spread instantly, turning it into a viral sensation across numismatic forums, news outlets, and social media platforms, inspiring thousands of people to check their spare change for hidden treasures, because if a 1987 penny, a coin everyone believed to be ordinary, could reach a value of $3.5 million, then truly anything is possible, and beyond its value. This coin represents a turning point in coin collecting where modern coins are finally recognized for their hidden potential, proving that rarity isn't just about age but about anomaly and condition, and collectors now pay close attention to small details like metal content, minting errors, and die varieties that were once dismissed as insignificant, because these are the traits that turn pocket change into historical artifacts, and the 1987 no-mint Mark penny embodies this shift perfectly, showing that even in an age of machine precision, perfection remains elusive, and that's exactly where true beauty and value lie. As the surface of this coin tells its own story, a brilliant reddish hue with traces of luster reflecting decades of careful preservation, microscopic doubling on the lettering of Liberty and I in God We Trust, and the unmistakable density of a solid copper coin when weighed on a scale, all hallmarks of a once-in-a-lifetime error that no mint worker could have predicted. And experts continue to debate how such an error occurred, whether it was an overlooked leftover planchet or an experimental strike that escaped the mint unnoticed, but regardless of its origin, its existence has transformed the way collectors perceive modern-era coins, sparking renewed excitement among younger hobbyists who now see coin collecting not as an old-fashioned pastime but as a real-world treasure hunt where life-changing discoveries can emerge from something as simple as a penny. And what's most inspiring about the 1987 no-mint mark penny's rise to fame is that it reminds everyone that great finds are often hiding in ordinary places, that wealth can appear in forms we overlook daily, and that even a coin minted during a time when the world was transitioning into digital technology can still capture human fascination like gold and jewels, because there's something timeless about holding history, error, and luck all in one small coin, and the demand for this particular penny has only grown with time. With collectors worldwide searching rolls, jars, and inherited coin boxes hoping to uncover another specimen, while auction houses remain on alert for any newly authenticated examples that could rival or surpass the $3.5 million record because the market for modern-era coins has exploded, with investors now seeing them as tangible, historical assets whose value appreciates as awareness spreads, and every video, post, or article about the 1987 no-mint mark penny drives that excitement even further, making it one of the most viral coin topics in recent years, and part of its magic lies in its paradox. It looks exactly like every other penny from that year, yet it holds the power to change a life forever, and that contradiction keeps collectors hooked, because it means fortune could be hiding in plain sight, in the very coins we use daily without thinking twice. And as numismatists continue to analyze its metallurgical properties and minting die sequences, this coin's mystery deepens, reinforcing its mythic status as one of the rarest anomalies of the modern minting age. And for the millions who now check their coins with magnifiers and scales, this penny has become a symbol of hope, curiosity, and reward for persistence, showing that the joy of discovery isn't limited to gold mines or buried chests. Sometimes, it's in the palm of your hand, waiting to be noticed. So if you ever come across a 1987 penny, don't dismiss it too quickly. Weigh it, inspect it, study its details. Because you might be holding the next $3.5 million masterpiece of minting magic, the kind of find that not only changes your fortune but also secures your name forever in the chronicles of numismatic history. So keep your eyes open, keep learning, and never stop searching your change, because your next ordinary penny might just be the one that makes history. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this incredible story with every collector, treasure hunter, and dreamer you know so you never miss another unbelievable discovery that could turn everyday change into legendary fortune.